Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you some of those things that can make your indefinite leave to remain application to be denied. Indefinite leave to remain application is not approved automatically after you've lived here in the UK for 5 years. So if you care to know more about this, you need to stick with me to the end of this video so we can share some insight about some of those things you need to avoid before you apply for your indefinite leave to remain during your 5 years working as a skilled worker here in the UK. Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, in this channel I give latest updates on ways you can study abroad, ways you can switch to a skilled worker visa here in the UK or from abroad, and I also share latest information about UK immigration system and some of UK immigration policy changes. If this content looks exciting to you, which I know it will definitely do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join the amazing evergreen family. And for my returning subscribers, you guys are the best. Thank you very much for always coming back to watch my video. I do appreciate you guys. So guys, let's get straight into today's video. Indefinite leave to remain application is not approved automatically, right? You need to meet the set conditions that are set out for indefinite leave to remain application. Most migrants believe that once you've lived here in the UK for 5 years as a skilled worker, you will be applied for indefinite leave to remain. Unknown to them, within that 5 years period, there are some certain things you need to do, right? And failure to do those things may either result to your indefinite leave to remain application denied, right? One of those things that you need to avoid while working as a skilled worker in the UK is, first of all, for that 5 years, you must not live outside the UK for more than 180 days. This is confusing and is contradictory in a way. Most persons do not understand this 180 days. The interpretation differs. I've had a conversation with different persons, right, who have different opinion about the 180 days living abroad during that period. Before now, I also think that in every given year of that 5 years, you are not supposed to live outside the UK for 180 days each year. But I later realized that the interpretation of that 180 days, it's cumulative of the 5 years. Within that 5 years period, you are not supposed to live outside the UK for more than 180 days. It's not per year, which I know 90% of migrants who know about it think you are not supposed to live outside the UK 180 days in every given year. That is not the interpretation. This is an update, guys. The update here is the cumulative of that 5 years during your stay here in the UK as a skilled worker. You are not supposed to live outside the UK for more than 180 days. 180 days is okay, but once it gets to 181 days, that become an issue, right? With that, your indefinite leave to remain application will not go through. You have to start counting that 5 years all over again. Take this. This is an update, right? 2, you are not entitled to public funds once you are on a skilled worker visa. It's stated on your visa that no recourse to public funds, right? But so many persons still did not understand. They feel as a skilled worker, they have that entitlement. I've seen somebody that applied for council house as a skilled worker and it was approved, right? I don't know how they did it, but it was approved. And you know, some of these people don't know your visa, the condition, right, governing the visa you are using to reside here. Some of those office holders, those responsible for the council house and some other public facility, do not understand your visa condition. So that is why you need to take ownership. You need to take responsibility. You need to know the rules governing the visa you are using to reside here. Don't think if you applied, they should know that you are not entitled to. That is not their duty. It's your duty to know that you are not eligible. You are not supposed to. So she applied for council house and it was approved. She was paying less than 50% of the normal rental value of that house. You know, the council houses are far cheaper, right? So she's been living there for years. At the point of applying for indefinite leave to remain, the system flagged it up and said, no, you are not entitled to public funds. You are not supposed to be living in a council house. And you'll be living there for years. For that reason, her indefinite leave to remain application was denied. She has to start counting 5 years from afresh. Yes. She has to start counting 5 years from afresh, right? So another thing you need to try as much as possible not to is, as a skilled worker sponsored by an eligible sponsor, you are supposed to work for your sponsor employer for the duration of your sponsorship. For those who are not working with their employer, thinking, I'm here in the UK already, I'm working somewhere else, you are not doing yourself good. You need to provide 2 years wage slip, right, at the point of applying for your indefinite leave to remain. Right? So if you are bringing 2 years wage slip from a different employer, different from the one that sponsored your visa here in the UK, how do you feel? So guys, this is an update. You must work for the employer that sponsored your visa. It's a must. It's not optional, right? And also, you must not work above 20 hours in a second employment. Very important. It's not a rocket science. It's easy to know if you are working more than 20 hours because all your payment details will be on His Majesty Revenue Collection System, HRMC, right? At the end of the year, you'll be sent P60 and P45 as the case may be. So you're not supposed to work more than 20 hours on a second employment if you're on a skilled worker visa, right? And you are working towards getting your indefinite leave to remain after you've lived there for 5 years. So you need to avoid working more than 20 hours on a second employment, and you must work for the employer that sponsors you. That is a must, right? So you need to keep some of this rule and put in mind, ILR application is not cheap. It's not a regular visa payment. It's a one-off fee because after that, you don't have any cost to apply for visa here in the UK. So you need to plan towards that. The cost for applying for indefinite leave to remain here in the UK is huge. For those who do not know how much it is, it's £2,880 per person. Yes, £2,880 per person. It's expensive. So if you're a family of 4, family of 5, so you should calculate that to know how much you should be expecting. So you need to save for the application. It's expensive, right? So the condition behind your visa you are using to reside here in the UK, you need to get abreast with it. You need to understand the rules. Those things you are not supposed to do, you need to know them, because it's not the responsibility of the public officer or the public facility you are applying into, or the employer, the second employment you are going into. It's not their responsibility to know all of this. It's your responsibility, right? So guys, these are some of the updates you need to get, right? So you need all of this information so that you can protect yourself while working as a skilled worker here in the UK for that period of time, right? So that at the end of your period, after you've lived here for 5 years, you can be able to apply for your indefinite leave to remain and be sure of getting a positive decision. And finally, right? Before you apply for indefinite leave to remain, definitely you need to write your life in UK test. That is compulsory, right? It's one of those requirements you need to apply for indefinite leave to remain, right? The life in UK test is just like the ITLS that we write. Some of us wrote when coming into the UK, right? But this time you need to write that life in UK test so you can be able to apply for your indefinite leave to remain. So guys, this is an update. The visa you are using to reside here in the UK, you need to know the rules and regulations so as to work in line with it. Because anything outside that, you find yourself in a big trouble at the point of applying for your indefinite leave to remain. And some of the penalty for all of this, as small as it is that it will earn you a reset button. Do you know what a reset button means? You have to start counting your 5 years from scratch. Just imagine you've lived there for 5 years and you're happy that it's time for me to apply for my indefinite leave to remain. And upon application, and you know the amount you are paying, £2,880. And the application is denied for a reason you breach one of your visa condition while working as a skilled worker. And the remedy to that is for you to start counting 5 years from day one. So you need to, that is to say, you now have to live for 10 years in the UK before you can be able to apply for your indefinite leave to remain. So guys, this is an update. Please, you need to share this content so migrants out there who are currently working as a skilled worker, right? We know what to do. You know some of those things they should not do, right? So they'll be able to protect themselves from unnecessary refusal at the point of applying for their indefinite leave to remain. This is an update. So guys, we've come to the end of today's video. If you gain value for this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And for my returning subscribers, thank you very much for always coming back to watch my video. I do appreciate. See you in my next video.